Welcome to Unleash Your Healing Vibes podcast, where we talk about the many generational curses that can plague you and look at ways to break the cycle, free yourself from ancestral trauma, and transform your life into the life that you came here to live. My name is Alicia Romella, and today's podcast discussion will be on the 10 reasons that self care is essential for your mental health. So, first, let's explain what exactly self care means and what are some easy and fun ways that we can begin to add a self care practice to our daily routine. Self care is essentially anything that you do to show yourself some love. So, often in life, we can put others first our kids, spouses, bosses, parents, friends, and even our pets come before ourselves. However, this is just counterintuitive to do. How can we fill up others' cups from our empty glasses? So, what we need to learn to do is to bring the focus back to ourselves. I'm talking about showering ourselves with kind, compassionate care for 15 minutes to an hour or two a day. That's it. When we give ourselves some self care and love, we begin to feel less stress, less anxiety, and you guessed it, even less anger. Who doesn't want to feel less of those negative emotions? Well, they're not really negative, but sometimes they can just feel low. So, anyway, for you technical folks out there listening that would like a textbook definition of self care, let's look into Webster's definition of self care. And it states care for oneself. Sounds easy enough, right? Self care can be anything you do to increase your physical, mental, or emotional well being. But for the sake of this episode, I'm going to include yoga, as it is one of the more popular self care techniques, and therefore, more studies have been done using yoga as a self care practice. Self care has many benefits. Check out this study. A Vegaro study from 2021 had people asked about the benefits of self care. The benefits that they cited included 64% cited a self confidence boost, 67% said that they had improved productivity, and 71% said self care increased their happiness. Hey, those are good things. So let's get into the 10 reasons why self-care and or yoga is so essential for our mental health and physical health. And then I'll give you some examples of how self-care techniques that you can try to see if they resonate with you. Let's dive in. Reason number 1. Self-care can lower depression. A study from 2022 during the pandemic in Slovakia showed that people who practiced more self-care activities had lower depression than the other participants. If you have depression in the winter, which they call seasonal affective disorder, it it just can debilitate you. You may not want to get out of bed and you don't feel up to your usual activities. It can cause you to gain weight. I mean, depression is really not a good thing. So, it is good to try, some self-care to see if that can maybe lower your depression. Number 2, self care can reduce stress and burnout. Yoga is one of the more popular self care techniques. Of course, I am a practicing yogi, and I have been for a while now, and it definitely helps with my mental and psychological well being. Of course, this is just my opinion and not a statement of fact. A systematic review of 11 studies with healthcare workers who were suffering from stress and burnout were given a yoga practice over an extended period of time, some 6 months and some were told to do 11 weeks. According to the study, yoga significantly reduced the stress levels and burnout and helped to prevent and manage psychological issues. Like I said, in my own life experience, yoga has been the self care practice that has made the most difference, not only for my mental health, but my physical and digestive health too. Let's look at reason number 3. Self care can reduce anxiety levels. Self care is great for anybody who suffers from anxiety. I have experience with this benefit too. At one point in my life, I couldn't even ride in a vehicle. I had so much fear and anxiety before I found self care. A study on college students were given a 6-week yoga vinyasa, 1 hour a week class, and one guided meditation once a week. The results of the study found that yoga and guided meditation significantly reduced the anxiety and the stress levels of the participants. Now I know meditation can seem intimidating. However, that's the beauty in guided meditations. You can find guided meditations on sites like YouTube and Rumble for just about anything you want. I mean, there's meditations for abundance, anxiety, cord cutting, love, the law of attraction, anything you can think of, you name it, there's probably a guided meditation online somewhere for it. If you're not into guided meditations, then just lay down quietly or sit quietly for 15 to 20 minutes and focus on your breathing. If your thoughts wander, which they typically will do, don't judge yourself and don't judge your thoughts. Just quietly bring yourself back to your breath and continue breathing quietly. It's really not as challenging as it sounds, and you don't have to go full on outside in the woods for 2 days to reap the benefits of meditation. Reason number 4, yoga can improve your mobility and strength. Yoga can improve strength and mobility if you practice regularly, and you don't have to practice every day if you don't want to. A study involving participants in an 8-week trial with 3 weekly hour hatha yoga practices and the control group that did regular strengthening and stretching practices. The study found that yoga was just as effective as strengthening and stretching in flexibility, mobility, strength, and even balance. Hey, if you've ever mastered tree pose or warrior 3, you know a little bit about balance. Reason number 5, yoga can help with back pain. So, nobody likes back pain, but yoga is a good form of self care that can help reduce back pain. There was a study from 2009 with WVU, West Virginia University researchers, and they had a group of people with chronic back pain. They had them practice yoga for 1 year, and the control group did traditional healthcare care. After the year that was over, 42% of the participants in the yoga group reported a reduction in pain. Reason number 6, self care can improve your relationships with others and prevent resentment. Self care can improve your relationships with other people. If you improve your relationship with yourself, you'll obviously be able to conduct yourself with others easier. So if you forget to take care of yourself properly, then your relationship with others may suffer too. For example, mothers and caregivers especially need to partake in some self care throughout the week. Otherwise, you may wind up feeling resentful for the people that you care about. Nobody wants to feel resentment. Ugh, lower vibrational frequencies. Think about nurses. They often run into burnout after having prolonged hours and days of working and caring for other people, often with not so much appreciation. If you have somebody that you need to take care of in your life, then it's best to add your self care into your life each week so that you can become more equipped to take care of others and not feel resentful. Reason number 7, yoga and deep breathing can lower blood pressure. If you suffer from hypertension or pre-hypertension, then practicing yoga and or deep breathing can reduce your blood pressure. Hypertension can be genetic, and if you drink alcohol on any kind of a regular basis, chances are your blood pressure may be high, especially if you're physically dependent. While I've been sober for almost 4 years now, I know not everybody is ready to drop the booze altogether. So, if you drink, you should try practicing yoga, especially if you have high blood pressure or think that you may in the future. And it's not just alcohol that causes hypertension. There are many other factors to consider. Of course, do not take this as any type of medical advice. If you have any blood pressure concerns, it's best to check with your medical professional. However, yoga can be a good supplemental practice to add to your traditional healthcare. In a meta analysis of trials where people had hypertension or pre-hypertension and they practiced yoga, there was a small but significant drop in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure in these groups. Number 8, self care can help you stay sober and fight off cravings. So if you're in recovery or you want to be in recovery from drug or alcohol addiction, or even food or shopping or sex addiction, a daily or weekly self care practice can help you. So, for example, in my experience, anytime I'd have a craving, especially early in recovery, I would do yoga, meditate, or practice mindfulness, and the craving would simply disappear. I wholeheartedly think that self care is what helped me stay sober. While everyone may have a different experience, I do believe if you're trying to get sober or you want to stay sober, you should at least try adding some self care practices into your life to see if they help with cravings. Reason number 9: self care can improve your focus and concentration. Having a self care routine can help to improve your focus and concentration. For example, a morning routine self care practice is a great way to improve your focus. So, as soon as you wake up, instead of reaching for the phone to scroll or be introduced to the lower vibration of the news, why don't you try doing some yoga or qigong practices? Having a daily routine is paramount for focus. A new study found that when employees' morning routines were disrupted in a way, they felt a huge sense of depletion and they were much less calm than normal. So, you can do just about anything as a morning routine: journal, read a book, do some form of exercise, go outside in nature, take a walk, preferably barefoot, as walking barefooted is a great way to ground yourself that connects you to Mother Earth. You'll soon begin to see that having a self care routine first thing in the morning is going to help to improve your focus and your concentration. And this is especially great if you have a mentally demanding job. So, lastly, we've arrived at number 10: self care and yoga can improve your energy levels. Yoga is an excellent example of a self care practice that can increase your energy. Yoga poses help with blood circulation and help to bring oxygen to each part of the body. Yoga includes breathing and poses that help to increase the energy levels in your body. Why don't you try some forward folds or inversions like down dog to get the blood flowing to your brain and watch it wake you up in the morning just like a good cup of coffee. Or say that you're feeling low energy in the evenings, but you still have stuff to do around the house, or maybe you have to mow the grass. A 20 to 30-minute yoga session can give you that boost that you need to finish the work in your day. So, let's recap. Self care can help. Reason 1: self care can lower depression. Number 2: self care can reduce stress and burnout. Number 3: self care can reduce anxiety levels. Number 4: self care and yoga can improve mobility and strength. Number 5: self care and yoga can help with back pain. Number 6: self care can improve your relationships with others and prevent resentment. Number 7: yoga and deep breathing can lower blood pressure. Number 8: self care can help you stay sober and fight off cravings. Number 9: self care can improve your focus and concentration. And number 10: self care and yoga can improve your energy levels. Here's some examples of self care that you can try to see if they resonate with you. This is not an exhaustive list, as there are many ways that you can show yourself some love, but this will give you a good idea of some places to start and see what works and what doesn't resonate. So, we have yoga, of course, mindfulness, meditation, Tai Chi or Qigong, eating the right amount of vegetables and fruits, and having a balanced diet. Getting the right amount of sleep each night, as sleep is very good for our restoration. Drink water. Take breaks from your devices, and definitely social media. Try cutting out social media altogether and see how much better you feel about yourself. Cut out soda and alcohol. Avoid people that you just can't get along with. Read a book. Journal. Practice art. Play music or play an instrument. Sing karaoke. Take a long bubble bath. Go to a spa. Get a facial or a massage. Go get an acupuncture treatment. Exercise. Walk outside in nature. Remember, barefoot. Dance. Ride a bike. Skateboard. Skates, ice skates, or a scooter. Play board games with your family or friends. People need to remember how therapeutic that playing board games can be, or card games. It's beautiful. Laugh. Laugh at anything. Just laugh for no reason. Laughter is great medicine. Cook or bake something. Take a new class and learn something new. There are plenty of more things that you can do to practice self care, and everyone's different. Not everyone's going to enjoy yoga and get anything from it, and that's fine. Find what resonates with you and add it to your life. Practice self care can be anything that you do that will improve your spiritual, emotional, mental, physical health, and well being. All right, guys, that's all I have for today's podcast. Have a great day and remember to unleash your healing vibes.